All right, so we're back with JD Longino. We're picking back up with the interview. Before we conclude, I wanted to jump back to the CPA journey because, again, we want this to be informational and encourage somebody. I didn't ask if I forgot to ask, what CPA prep materials did you use? What investment there did you make?
Yes, yes, yes. So initially for the CPA exam, I started using Becker.
Okay.
Um, and then I added in like Ninja,
Okay.
which yeah, and between those two, I felt really, really good about it. I mostly did Ninja for the just additional multiple choice questions and all that good stuff to go through it. But that combination of them, and it was probably overkill. It was probably overkill, but had to get it done. So yeah, that combination helped me knock it out.
Right, which, and I can understand too. You wanted that extra database of questions, probably. So that was good. Some supplemental material, which is not unusual. Okay, so glad I want to make sure I covered that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's a part of the process as well. Got it. All righty. So the final question. So what does having CPA behind your name mean to you?
Having CPA behind my name, it means access, growth, opportunities, right? Field vision. So you could see what's going on in the world and in your life and respond appropriately.
Okay.
All of those things come together in the CPA, right? And what I'll say is that it the CPA is something, it's options. It is ultimately options, right?
Okay.
Because you're going to have to get out there and make money in this world, right? You're going
Okay.
to have to be part of, the business structure in some kind of way.
Okay.
So having your CPA allows you to move in and out of multiple businesses, right? And you can find one that aligns with your passion.
Mhm.
And having that CPA also allows you to, it's a starting point, right? You can jump off from there. I'll say, for example, I've added on my CFP, my Certified Financial Planner
Oh,
certificate, right? And
okay.
that's
Wait a
something.
minute. Don't just try to slide that through there. Wait a minute. I didn't even know that about my good friend that I said very
Yeah.
pretty. Okay. Well, congratulations. So you got to talk a little bit about that. I don't want you to lose your train of thought, but I got a question. But keep going.
Yeah. So, but that I was able to add that on, bring
Okay.
that in a lot more easily because I had my CPA, right? I was just able to bring that experience in, and now when I present myself, I'm that much more of a competent professional, right? I can say I'm an accountant. I could say I've been doing things for XYZ many of years, but that name, those three letters behind your name carries so much weight, both like domestically and abroad. It's just something that you would really have to think long and hard about passing up. If you have that opportunity to sit for the exam and get your license, you'd really, really have to have a really good reason to not at least attempt it and get that license for yourself because of how much of your future is just dependent on that, right? How much just hangs on you having that CPA exam or CPA license.
Right. Or that's so we've been told. And we see that play out. But that leads me to the question about becoming a CFP or adding that. So it would seem CPA, you're at the pinnacle, access, you have options. So what made you say, I need more options, more access?
Okay,
Oh,
that's such a good question because it ultimately comes down to, as a CPA, because it's so trusted, people would ask me for any and everything,
so
right?
right, they think you
And
know
what
everything, which we do.
exactly, they need absolutely everything. So what I found is that as a CPA, I was an expert in business, I was an expert in tax, but then there were other matters that, when it comes down to the individual level, that I knew, but I didn't understand in the way to say, hey, oh, you know what, you need to change this and go over here, or you need to do this, that, right? And then adding on that certified financial planner just adds in a whole additional body of knowledge that allows you to help your clients. Knowledge in estate planning, insurance planning, tax planning, retirement planning, education planning, for example, investments, right? And that really just, when you add that onto your CPA, now that CPA is powerful, but when you add that CFP onto it, it really just gives you this holistic view. And so any client that you're working with at that point, right, I can help them with their business and translate how that income comes down to them, and then help them plan how they manage that income for themselves and their family into the future. And that is the holistic, at least in my view,
Okay.
financial planner. And that's really what I wanted to do for my clients, because I saw, again, that need of like, how do we connect these dots, right? Yes, I saved on tax, but what do I do with these tax savings, right? So how do we get from point A to point B? And adding that CFP just gives me that additional knowledge to really guide them.
I'm glad you touched on that and shared that with the audience, because I think some of us think you're at the top. You have made it, so to speak, in the accounting world. But again, the lane is wide open. There's so many areas of expertise, and just, you said, holistically, overall, things that you would need to do, or an opportunity with clients where you can expand your knowledge base and client base. So that is great. So how long ago did you complete the CFP and get that designation, or did you know that or realize early on, or was that something just here recently? Because I found too, as accountants, or just the type of, I guess, personalities, we're always looking for the next challenge, lifelong.
Yeah, that is very accurate. It's something that I had been looking at for a while, between the CFP board's CFP license, and then you have the AICPA's PFS license, the personal financial specialist license, right? And you can kind of go in either direction. And having a CPA allows you to, maybe not the right word, but shortcut the process a little bit. You don't have to do as much stuff in the background because you have that financial knowledge. So I ultimately ended up going with the CFP because it just seemed a little bit larger, a little more, like I keep saying, holistic, but it made a lot more sense to add that on. And you're right, the CPA, it's a pinnacle to a certain degree, but it just allows you to then add on things to it to get even more specialized in a certain area, right? I could have gone, to nonprofits and, chosen more certifications that way, like, industry management or, business management, gone that way. But helping people, that license really just emphasized the way that I can help people and grow their finances. And that was just absolutely perfect for me. And so when did I get it? I actually just got it in March of this year. So it's something really recent for me. But again, I already, right, here we are talking in November, a couple months later, already I've been able to bring so much more value to the conversations than I was previously, right? I can really lay things out for people, and you can just see the relief on their faces when you say, oh yeah, no, this works like this, these connect. Oh man, okay, I've been Googling. ChatGPT didn't tell me that. So yeah, all this stuff, it really comes together and just helps people and yourself, right?
Got it. So did you start up a new firm, or are you just doing some freelance work now, or did you actually go back into public accounting? Where are you at now?
So I am not in public accounting right now. Right now, I'm actually working with a firm. I don't know if I can or should say their name, but I'm working with a firm to do financial planning. And so it's not in the public accounting arena. It's more, again, just utilizing that license. And really the thought there is, I've flexed my tax muscles for long enough. I want to start working on these muscles, and then again, just bring it all together.
Got it. So you went back to being just a regular employee?
I went back to being a regular employee. Sometimes you got to know when to put yourself back in the oven to bake a little bit more. And again, it does come back to me wanting to be that consummate financial professional that people think that I am, right? The professional that people assume CPAs are when they come to them, right? I want to be able to just boom, 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 run it down from point A to point B.
All right. Well, it sounds like you got a vast array of knowledge and different experience. Well, again, thank you. And I would like for the audience to know you are currently the president of the DeKalb chapter of the Georgia Society of CPAs. And if there's any other organization you would like to here's an opportunity, but I would like to say thank you. And but before we end, do you have any closing remarks or any thoughts of encouragement for aspiring CPAs or just thoughts overall?
Yeah, absolutely. I will just plug another organization real quickly. It is called Foresight, and it's about delivering financial literacy, right, to underserved communities, and that's the company that I'm working with to go to the different like libraries and just open free speaking events to share my knowledge with the community. So, check us out online. If you, it's spelled differently, it's stylized, but if you search my name, it'll definitely come up because I'm very involved. So, and that last question, just remind me, what was that last question again? I want to make sure I hit that one right on the head.
Right. I was just saying if there were any closing remarks or any encouragement for aspiring CPAs and your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I would say do it. Do it. This is a test. It's meant to be difficult, but it's meant to prepare you, right? It's meant to prepare you for all the scenarios that you see. The thing that stuck with me after I passed the CPA exam, I passed the CPA exam, and one of my bosses was getting on me in public accounting. And then I went to a mentor of mine. I was like, man, why is he being so mean? He keeps telling me I got the CPA exam, CPA license, and he's like, you should know all this stuff. And I just passed it like a month or so before, and that person told me, and this has always stuck with me. They're like, you know what? The CPA isn't that you know everything. It's that you know when to ask questions, right? You know when you may not know and you need to go get more answers and fill in those gaps so that you can be comprehensive. And to me, that's what it's about. So those people going through through the exams right now, maybe you're working in industry, public, nonprofit, and maybe you're getting a whole bunch of stuff that is not making sense. The dots aren't connecting. Just understand, like, hey, just take it in, synthesize that information, use it to pass the test, and then just keep it in the back of your mind, because you never know when you're going to encounter something like that again, and you'll say, oh, I remember something like that off the exam. Let me go look that up, right? Instead of just confidently saying, hey, let's charge off into this direction. And that's what the CPA is. You don't always know the answers, but you know how to get the answers and get everybody to the right result.
Got it. All right. Well, again, thank you for taking time out of your early Saturday morning when this is recorded. Can't say when it'll be posted, but thank you here on the weekend to chat with me and tell us all about your CPA journey and what you've been doing in your career. And it goes to show the CPA designation or those credentials gives you options. You heard it here from JD Longino. He talked about how he got into it, why he got into it. He thought one thing regarding was it just retail, and thought, you know what, let me find a career or a job where I won't be bothered. But little he interacted with people all of the time, but it provided an opportunity where he could take a step back. Again, he had options. So that's what I say the CPA gives you once you get to a level or a certain point in your career. So thank you for sharing your story, and definitely keep in touch with you, see what you have going on next. And before I end, I always say, remember who you are and whose you are, and there's no time like the present to either become a CPA or do whatever it is you want to do in life. So I will see you next time.